International reactions have already started pouring in particular that of the United States. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has already claimed Hong Kong is no longer autonomous, threatening the island's special status. Well, to give us more insight into the political aspects at play, we're joined by International Affairs editor Philip Turle. Philip, thank you very much for joining us on the programme. Hong Kong's special status, what exactly is so special about it, and why does it matter to the people of Hong Kong, Philip?
Well, Simon, if you cast your mind back to 1997, the 1st of July that year, that is when Britain handed back Hong Kong, the former British colony, to Chinese rule. And under that handing back ceremony, there was a basic agreement whereby Hong Kong would have a special autonomy, would be independent, have an independent judiciary. There would be the right to gather, to hold protest movements. All of that was guaranteed under the one country, two systems agreement signed with the United Kingdom. Now, since then, the people of Hong Kong have the feeling that the Chinese in Beijing, the Chinese Communist Party, has done everything it can to try to gnaw away at those fundamental rights that were assured for Hong Kong over a 50-year period. That's up until 2047. And this new basic law that has come through, the new national security law, is seen as yet another attempt by the authorities in Beijing to take away some of the rights that the people of Hong Kong are entitled to. And on top of that, it has to be said that many young people in Hong Kong today who are in their early 20s or who are students say, well, 50 years back in 1997 was quite a long time, but that was 23 years ago. So we only have 27 years to go. And that means that most of these people are going to be under 50 by the time that all of the rights that they were given under the handing back of 1997 will have disappeared, and China will be able to have full control of Hong Kong by then.
And of course, Philip, Mike Pompeo's comments could be seen as a provocation by Beijing. Is this the latest attempt by the Trump administration to divert attention from domestic problems, or is the White House genuinely concerned about the situation in Hong Kong?
I think it's a bit of both. I think that basically Donald Trump is using China to try to deflect attention away of his handling of the coronavirus epidemic in the United States. You mentioned earlier in the program that they just had 100,000 deaths in the US now, the highest toll anywhere in the world. So this is not looking very good for Donald Trump, the way he handled it. He's blamed China for the outbreak of this virus at the beginning. So this attack against the Chinese trying to introduce these new laws in Hong Kong is seen as, I think, maybe concern on the part of the United States that the fundamental rights of the people of Hong Kong are being taken away or slowly taken away. And at the same time, maybe also another attempt for it to say, well, look, China is being a ruthless country. It has no scruples, and it's trying hard to undermine democracy in Hong Kong. But the United States is treading a very fine line here, because it can, as it's threatened to do away with the special trading status. Donald Trump has got to make a final decision about that maybe later this week. If it does, it could impose sanctions on trade with Hong Kong, or visas on some of the people of Hong Kong trying to come to the United States. And that may undermine businesses, US businesses that have invested vast amounts of money in Hong Kong. Just one figure for you, $6.3 billion worth of US exports in Hong Kong last year. So the US has to be very careful that it's not harming its own economy by ending the special relationship with Hong Kong, and also not hurting Hong Kongers themselves, who will find it much harder to make ends meet.
It'll be certainly a very interesting situation to follow. Philip, thank you very much for joining us on the programme and for that analysis. Thank you, Philip.